For many Ford pickup truck owners, the real story of their vehicle does not begin on smooth city roads or quiet suburban streets. It begins on long highways under harsh sunlight, on gravel-covered construction routes, on muddy rural paths, and on unpredictable terrain where durability is not a luxury but a necessity. A Ford pickup is built to work, to carry, to conquer distance and difficulty, and to remain dependable under pressure. Yet even the strongest vehicles rely on vulnerable components hidden behind the front grille. And among them, the radiator stands as one of the most critical and exposed parts of the entire system. The radiator is the heart of the engine's cooling system. Without it, the most powerful engine becomes fragile, overheated, and vulnerable to severe damage. Every kilometer driven forces air, debris, insects, dust, and small stones toward the front of the vehicle. At highway speeds, even the smallest object can strike the radiator with enough force to bend cooling fins, puncture delicate tubes, or weaken joints that were never designed to absorb direct impact. For Ford pickup trucks, which often driven in harsher conditions than standard passenger vehicles, this risk is significantly higher. Many drivers only realize the importance of radiator protection after the damage has already occurred. A small stone thrown up by a passing truck, a piece of gravel on a construction road, or a swarm of insects during long-distance travel can silently reduce cooling efficiency. At first, the signs are subtle. The engine runs slightly hotter, the cooling fan works more frequently, coolant levels drop slowly, almost unnoticed. Over time, these small warning signs accumulate into serious problems: overheating, engine stress, and in extreme cases, costly repairs that far exceed the price of preventive protection. Ford pickup trucks are designed to handle heavy loads, towing, and off-road environments. However, factory designs prioritize airflow and aesthetics over impact protection. The open structure behind the grille allows maximum air intake, but it also leaves the radiator exposed. This design choice makes sense for normal urban driving, but it becomes a weakness in real-world usage where road conditions are unpredictable. Owners who use their Ford pickups for work, travel, or venture quickly learn that protection is not about luxury. It is about preserving reliability and performance over time. A radiator protection grille, often called a radiator guard or radiator mesh, exists precisely to address this hidden vulnerability. It acts as the first line of defense between the harsh external environment and the delicate cooling system behind it. Properly designed for Ford pickup trucks, this grille does not block airflow or compromise cooling efficiency. Instead, it redirects debris, absorbs minor impacts, and prevents direct contact with the radiator core. The result is not just protection, but peace of mind. What makes radiator damage particularly dangerous is that it often goes unnoticed until it becomes serious. Unlike visible body damage, a bent fin or a small puncture does not announce itself immediately. The vehicle may continue running normally for weeks or months, slowly losing efficiency until one day the temperature gauge rises unexpectedly. At that point, the damage is already done. Preventive protection becomes reactive repair, and costs increase dramatically. Ford pickup owners often invest in visible upgrades such as wheels, suspension, lighting, and exterior accessories. While these enhancements improve appearance and off-road capability, they sometimes overlook the importance of protecting core mechanical components. A radiator protection grille may not be as visually striking as other modifications, but its value lies in what it prevents rather than what it displays. It is an invisible guardian, working quietly every time the vehicle moves forward. In regions with hot climates, heavy traffic, or dusty environments, the radiator works even harder. High ambient temperatures reduce cooling efficiency, while debris buildup restricts airflow. In such conditions, even minor damage can push the cooling system beyond its limits. Ford pickup trucks operating in these environments face a compounded risk, making radiator protection not just recommended but essential. Another often overlooked factor is long-distance driving. Highway speeds significantly increase impact force. A small stone that would harmlessly bounce off at low speed can become a damaging projectile at 100 kilometers per hour. Over thousands of kilometers, the probability of impact increases dramatically. A radiator protection grille reduces this risk by dispersing force and preventing direct penetration, preserving the integrity of the cooling system over time. Beyond physical protection, there is also an economic argument. Replacing or repairing a damaged radiator is not only expensive but also inconvenient. It often involves downtime, towing, and potential secondary damage if overheating occurs before the issue is detected. In contrast, installing a radiator protection grille is a one-time investment that provides continuous protection throughout the vehicle's lifespan. For Ford pickup owners who rely on their vehicles for work or daily transportation, this reliability is invaluable. The philosophy behind radiator protection aligns perfectly with the spirit of Ford pickup ownership. These vehicles are chosen for their strength, endurance, and versatility. Protecting critical components ensures that these qualities remain intact, even under demanding conditions. A radiator protection grille does not change how the vehicle drives or how it looks dramatically. Instead, it changes how long the vehicle lasts, how consistently it performs, and how confidently the owner can drive without worrying about hidden damage. In the world of automotive maintenance, prevention is always superior to repair. Radiator protection is one of the simplest and most effective preventive measures available for Ford pickup trucks. It does not require complex modifications, advanced technical knowledge, or frequent maintenance. Once installed, it becomes a permanent shield, silently doing its job mile after mile. Understanding the risks faced by the radiator is the first step toward appreciating the value of protection. Ford pickup trucks are built to go further, work harder, and endure more than ordinary vehicles. Giving the radiator the protection it deserves ensures that the engine can continue performing at its best. Regardless of road conditions, weather, or workload, this is not about fear of damage. It is about respect for engineering and commitment to long-term reliability. This is where the journey begins. Before discussing materials, designs, installation, or performance benefits, it is essential to understand why radiator protection matters in the first place. For Ford pickup owners, the radiator protection grille is not an accessory. It is a safeguard, a practical upgrade, and a smart decision rooted in experience rather than impulse. To truly understand the value of a radiator protection grille for Ford pickup trucks, it is necessary to look beyond the surface and examine how engine cooling works under real operating conditions. The cooling system is not simply a collection of parts designed to prevent overheating. It is a finely balanced system that depends on airflow, heat exchange, pressure stability, and uninterrupted circulation. Any disruption to one of these elements can compromise the entire system, sometimes without immediate warning. But the center of this system is the radiator, a heat exchanger engineered to dissipate enormous amounts of thermal energy generated by the engine. As the engine runs, coolant absorbs heat and travels through narrow channels within the radiator. Air passing through the radiator fins carries this heat away, allowing the coolant to return to the engine at a lower temperature. This process repeats continuously, thousands of times during a single journey. The efficiency of this cycle determines whether the engine operates smoothly or struggles under thermal stress. Ford pickup trucks are often driven under conditions that push this system to its limits. Heavy loads, towing, steep inclines, stop-and-go traffic, high ambient temperatures, and off-road environments all increase heat generation. Under these circumstances, even a slight reduction in airflow or cooling efficiency can have a significant impact. This is why the physical condition of the radiator is so critical. Bent fins, clogged passages, or micro damage to the cooling tubes may not cause immediate failure, but they reduce the system's ability to regulate temperature over time. One of the most common misconceptions among vehicle owners is that adding a radiator protection grille will restrict airflow and reduce cooling performance. This belief stems from poorly designed or generic guards that do not account for airflow dynamics. However, a properly engineered radiator protection grille designed specifically for Ford pickup trucks works in harmony with the cooling system rather than against it. The key lies in material selection, mesh geometry, spacing, and placement. High-quality radiator protection grilles are designed with precise airflow calculations in mind. The openings in the mesh are large enough to allow sufficient air volume to pass through at various speeds, while still small enough to block stones, debris, and insects. The mesh structure creates controlled turbulence that actually helps distribute airflow more evenly across the radiator surface. Instead of air striking the radiator in concentrated streams, it spreads across a wider area, improving overall heat exchange efficiency. Material choice plays a crucial role in this balance. Aluminum and coated steel are commonly used because they offer strength without excessive weight. These materials resist corrosion, maintain structural integrity under heat, and do not deform easily under minor impacts. Unlike plastic alternatives, metal meshes retain their shape over time, ensuring consistent airflow characteristics throughout the life of the vehicle. For Ford pickup trucks that are expected to endure years of demanding use, this durability is essential. Impact protection is another critical aspect of radiator guard design. At highway speeds, small stones become high-energy projectiles. When they strike an unprotected radiator, the force is concentrated on a small surface area, increasing the likelihood of puncture or fin damage. A radiator protection grille acts as a force distributor. Upon impact, the energy is spread across the mesh and dissipated through its structure, significantly reducing the stress transferred to the radiator itself. This principle is similar to protective armor, where energy absorption and distribution prevent catastrophic damage. In off-road and construction environments, The risk extends beyond stones. Branches, loose gravel, insects, and even plastic debris can accumulate on the radiator surface. Over time, this buildup restricts airflow and traps heat. A radiator protection grille serves as a first contact surface where debris can be easily removed during routine cleaning. Instead of reaching deep into the engine bay to clean delicate radiator fins, owners can simply clean the grille, preserving the radiator's original condition. Thermal efficiency is not only about airflow volume but also about airflow quality. When debris clogs the radiator fins, air is forced to take irregular paths, reducing heat transfer efficiency. By preventing debris from reaching the radiator, the protection grille ensures that airflow remains consistent and predictable. This stability is especially important for Ford pickup trucks equipped with modern engines and advanced thermal management systems that rely on accurate temperature control to optimize performance and emissions. Another often overlooked benefit of radiator protection is pressure stability within the cooling system. When radiator damage causes coolant leaks, even small ones, the system loses pressure. Reduced pressure lowers the boiling point of the coolant, increasing the risk of overheating under load. A radiator protection grille indirectly helps maintain pressure integrity by preventing the types of damage that lead to leaks in the first place. This preventive effect contributes to long-term engine health in ways that are not immediately visible but profoundly important. Modern Ford pickup trucks are equipped with sensors and electronic controls that monitor engine temperature, fan operation, and coolant flow. These systems are designed to respond to changing conditions, but they cannot compensate for physical damage. A bent fin or partially blocked radiator may not trigger a warning light until the problem becomes severe. By preserving the radiator's physical condition, a protection grille allows these electronic systems to operate within their intended parameters, improving reliability and responsiveness. Weight considerations are also relevant. Any additional component added to a vehicle must justify its presence. A well-designed radiator protection grille adds minimal weight while offering substantial protective benefits. This balance is particularly important for Ford pickup trucks, where payload capacity and efficiency matter. Unlike heavy skid plates or reinforced bumpers, radiator guards provide targeted protection without compromising vehicle dynamics or fuel efficiency. In hot climates or during summer driving, cooling systems operate closer to their upper limits. Radiator efficiency becomes even more critical when ambient temperatures reduce the temperature differential between coolant and air. In such conditions, maintaining clean, undamaged radiator surfaces can make the difference between stable operation and thermal overload. A radiator protection grille supports this stability by preserving optimal airflow conditions, even when environmental factors are unfavorable. The science behind radiator protection is rooted in simple principles: airflow management, impact energy distribution, and preventive maintenance. When these principles are applied correctly, the result is a system that enhances reliability without introducing new risks. For Ford pickup trucks, which often subjected to conditions beyond what standard passenger vehicles experience, this balance is not optional, it is necessary. Beyond the technical aspects, there is also a psychological benefit. Knowing that a critical component is protected allows drivers to focus on the road, the task at hand, or the journey ahead without constant concern about unseen damage. Confidence in the vehicle translates into better driving decisions, smoother operation, and a more satisfying ownership experience. This sense of assurance is difficult to quantify, but it is deeply valued by those who rely on their Ford pickups daily. As technology continues to evolve, engines become more powerful and efficient, but also more sensitive to thermal variations. Protecting the cooling system is therefore an investment not only in current performance but also in future reliability. A radiator protection grille is not a temporary accessory, it is a long-term safeguard that supports the engine throughout its service life. Understanding the science behind radiator guards transforms them from simple add-ons into essential components of a comprehensive protection strategy. They represent a thoughtful approach to vehicle care, one that prioritizes prevention, efficiency, and durability. For Ford pickup owners who demand reliability under all conditions, radiator protection is not an afterthought. It is a deliberate choice grounded in engineering logic and real-world experience. The true value of any protective component is revealed not in theory, but in real-world use. Ford pickup trucks are not confined to ideal driving conditions. They are tools, companions, and workhorses designed to operate where comfort ends and demands begin. From highways stretching across provinces to dusty construction zones, from rural backroads to rugged off-road trails, Ford pickups encounter environments that constantly test the durability of their mechanical systems. It is within these real-life scenarios that the importance of radiator protection becomes unmistakably clear. One of the most common use cases for Ford pickup trucks is long-distance highway driving. Whether transporting goods, traveling for work, or embarking on extended journeys. These vehicles often spend hours at sustained high speeds. At such speeds, airflow is intense and debris impact force increases exponentially. Small stones kicked up by other vehicles, tire fragments, insects, and road debris become invisible hazards. While the vehicle body may withstand these impacts, the radiator remains vulnerable behind the grille. Over thousands of kilometers, repeated micro-impacts slowly degrade radiator fins, reducing airflow efficiency and increasing thermal stress. A radiator protection grille acts as a silent shield during these journeys, absorbing countless small impacts that would otherwise accumulate into serious damage. Construction sites present an even harsher environment. Loose gravel, sand, cement dust, metal fragments, and uneven terrain create constant threats to exposed components. Ford pickup trucks are frequently used to transport materials, tools, and personnel to and from these locations. Each entry and exit from a construction zone sends debris toward the front of the vehicle. Without protection, the radiator becomes a target for stones propelled by spinning tires or falling debris. In this setting, a radiator protection grille is not an accessory but a necessity. It prevents direct contact between debris and the radiator core, significantly reducing the likelihood of sudden coolant leaks or gradual efficiency loss. Off-road driving introduces a different category of challenges. Trails often include mud, branches, tall grass, loose rocks, and water crossings, while off-road enthusiasts focus heavily on suspension, tires, and ground clearance. The cooling system quietly bears the burden of these conditions. Mud and plant matter can clog radiator fins, while branches and stones can strike with unpredictable force. In remote locations, a damaged radiator can turn an eventer into a dangerous situation. A radiator protection grille provides an additional layer of security, ensuring that minor impacts or debris accumulation do not compromise the vehicle's ability to regulate engine temperature. Far from assistance. Ford pickup trucks are also widely used for towing and hauling heavy loads. Towing increases engine load and heat generation, placing additional strain on the cooling system. Under these conditions, the radiator must operate at peak efficiency. Any reduction in airflow caused by damaged fins or clogged surfaces can quickly lead to overheating. Radiator protection becomes especially valuable here because it helps preserve optimal cooling performance when the engine is working hardest. The grille ensures that airflow remains unobstructed by preventing debris buildup and physical damage, supporting stable operation during demanding tasks. In rural and agricultural settings, Ford pickup trucks navigate dirt roads, farmland, and unpaved paths daily. These environments generate fine dust that gradually coats the radiator surface, reducing heat dissipation. Insects, seeds, and organic debris further contribute to airflow restriction. A radiator protection grille serves as a first barrier, capturing much of this material before it reaches the radiator. Cleaning the grille becomes a simple maintenance task, while the radiator itself remains protected and efficient. Over time, this separation significantly extends radiator lifespan and reduces maintenance complexity. Urban driving may appear less demanding, but it presents its own set of challenges. Stop-and-go traffic, high ambient temperatures, and limited airflow increase reliance on cooling fans and efficient heat exchange. Insects, plastic debris, and small objects encountered on city roads still pose risks, while impacts may be less dramatic than in off-road or construction environments. Cumulative damage remains a concern. Radiator protection in urban settings provides consistent, everyday defense that prevents gradual degradation often overlooked until overheating occurs. Fleet vehicles and service pickups represent another critical use case. These vehicles are expected to operate reliably with minimal downtime. Unexpected radiator failure disrupts schedules, increases costs, and damages operational efficiency. For fleet operators, preventive measures are essential. Installing radiator protection grilles across a fleet of Ford pickup trucks standardizes protection, reduces maintenance incidents, and improves long-term cost control. The return on investment becomes evident as repair frequency decreases and vehicle availability increases. Seasonal changes further influence radiator vulnerability. During rainy seasons, water splashes carry debris toward the front of the vehicle. In dry seasons, dust and insects become dominant threats. In colder climates, road salt and grit accelerate corrosion and mechanical wear. A radiator protection grille mitigates these seasonal risks by acting as a consistent protective layer regardless of environmental conditions. Its role remains constant even as external threats change. Emergency situations highlight the importance of preparedness. Ford pickup trucks are often used in rescue operations, utility repairs, and emergency response, particularly in rural or disaster-affected areas. In such moments, vehicle failure is not merely inconvenient, it can be critical. A protected cooling system increases the likelihood that the vehicle will remain operational under pressure. reinforcing the reliability that Ford pickups are known for. What unites all these scenarios is unpredictability. Drivers cannot foresee every stone, branch, insect swarm, or debris field they will encounter. Radiator protection does not eliminate risk, but it significantly reduces exposure. It transforms unpredictable threats into manageable factors, allowing the vehicle to continue operating within safe thermal limits. The real-world advantage of a radiator protection grille lies in its consistency. It performs the same function whether the vehicle is traveling at highway speed, crawling over rough terrain, idling in traffic, or towing heavy loads. It does not require activation, adjustment, or attention during operation. Its protection is passive yet persistent, working continuously without interfering with vehicle function. For Ford pickup owners, usage patterns vary widely, but the underlying need for protection remains constant. Whether the truck is a daily driver, a work vehicle, an adventure platform, or a family transport, the cooling system is always at risk. Radiator protection adapts seamlessly to each role, offering benefits that accumulate quietly over time. By examining real-world use cases, it becomes clear that radiator protection is not tied to a specific driving style or environment. Instead, it addresses a universal vulnerability shared by all Ford pickup trucks. It is a practical response to real conditions, informed by experience rather than theory. This understanding sets the stage for deeper consideration of long-term value and durability. Protection is not only about surviving individual journeys, but about preserving performance across years of use. With real-world demands clearly defined, the next step is to explore how radiator protection contributes to longevity, cost efficiency, and sustained reliability over the life of a Ford pickup truck. When people think about vehicle upgrades, they often focus on what can be seen, felt, or immediately experienced. More power, larger tires, brighter lights, or a more aggressive exterior presence tend to dominate attention. Yet the most valuable upgrades are often those that work silently in the background, protecting critical systems and preserving performance over time. Radiator protection for Ford pickup trucks belongs firmly in this category. Its value is not measured in instant gratification, but in longevity, reliability, and peace of mind. A Ford pickup is not purchased for a single season or a short phase of life. It is chosen with the expectation of durability, endurance, and long-term service. Owners rely on these vehicles year after year, through changing conditions, evolving responsibilities, and increasing mileage. Over time, the true cost of ownership is shaped not only by fuel or routine maintenance, but by how well the vehicle withstands wear, stress, and unexpected challenges. Radiator protection directly influences this equation by reducing the likelihood of one of the most disruptive and expensive forms of mechanical failure: cooling system damage. Radiator repairs are rarely isolated incidents. A compromised radiator often leads to cascading problems. Overheating stresses engine components, degrades seals, warps surfaces, and shortens the lifespan of critical parts. Even brief episodes of excessive heat can leave lasting effects that only appear months later. By preventing the initial damage that triggers these events, a radiator protection grille serves as a gatekeeper for long-term engine health. Its impact extends far beyond the radiator itself, influencing the overall durability of the vehicle. From a financial perspective, preventive protection consistently proves to be the smarter choice. The cost of installing a radiator protection grille is modest when compared to the expense of replacing a radiator, repairing overheating damage, or dealing with roadside breakdowns. Beyond direct repair costs, there are indirect losses to consider: lost work time, interrupted travel, towing fees, and the inconvenience of unexpected downtime. For Ford pickup owners who depend on their vehicles professionally or personally, reliability is not a luxury, it is a requirement. Durability is another dimension where radiator protection demonstrates its long-term value. A well-designed grille is engineered to last the lifetime of the vehicle. It does not degrade rapidly, require frequent replacement, or demand complex maintenance. Its role remains constant regardless of mileage, weather, or driving style. Over years of use, the cumulative protection it provides far outweighs its initial cost. This durability aligns seamlessly with the philosophy behind Ford pickup ownership: investing once, benefiting continuously. There is also an important psychological aspect to consider. Confidence in a vehicle changes how it is used. Drivers who trust their equipment are more focused, decisive, and relaxed behind the wheel. They are less distracted by concern over potential failures and more engaged with the task at hand. Radiator protection contributes to this confidence by removing a hidden vulnerability. Knowing that the cooling system is shielded allows owners to drive longer distances, tackle tougher terrain, and operate under demanding conditions without constant worry. In the broader context of vehicle care, Radiator protection represents a shift from reactive to proactive thinking. Reactive maintenance responds to problems after they occur, often at higher cost and greater inconvenience. Proactive protection anticipates risks and neutralizes them before damage happens. This mindset reflects maturity in ownership and respect for the engineering behind the vehicle. It acknowledges that even the strongest machines benefit from thoughtful protection. As vehicles age, small decisions made early in ownership become increasingly significant. A radiator protected from impact, debris, and clogging will age differently from one left exposed. Its cooling efficiency will remain higher, its structural integrity intact, and its reliability consistent. Over time, these differences accumulate into tangible benefits: fewer repairs, steadier performance, and extended service life. When the vehicle eventually changes hands, this preservation often translates into higher resale value and a stronger reputation for dependability. Ford pickup trucks are often passed through multiple phases of use. A truck may begin as a daily commuter, evolve into a work vehicle, become an adventure platform, and later serve family or utility purposes. Throughout these transitions, the demands placed on the cooling system remain constant. Radiator protection adapts effortlessly to each phase, offering continuous benefits regardless of how the vehicle's role changes. This adaptability underscores its importance as a foundational upgrade rather than a situational accessory. It is also worth acknowledging that modern vehicles are becoming increasingly complex. Advanced engines, tighter tolerances, and sophisticated thermal management systems leave less margin for error. Protecting fundamental components is more important than ever. Radiator protection does not interfere with these systems. It supports them by preserving the physical conditions they depend on. In doing so, it bridges traditional mechanical durability with modern technological sensitivity. Ultimately, radiator protection for Ford pickup trucks is about alignment. It aligns with the vehicle's purpose, the owner's expectations, and the realities of real-world driving. It respects the balance between airflow and protection, between performance and preservation. It does not seek attention or admiration, yet it delivers measurable benefits over time. Its effectiveness lies in its consistency and restraint. For those who view their Ford pickup as more than just transportation, radiator protection becomes an obvious choice. It reflects an understanding that true strength is not only about power, but about resilience. It acknowledges that the most important victories are often the ones that go unnoticed, the breakdown that never happened, the journey that continued without interruption, the engine that performed reliably year after year. In the end, the radiator protection grille is not merely a physical barrier. It is a symbol of thoughtful ownership, a commitment to longevity, and a quiet assurance that the vehicle is prepared for whatever lies ahead. It stands as a reminder that sometimes, the smartest upgrades are the ones that protect what matters most, even when no one is watching. And so, for Ford pickup owners who demand durability, reliability, and confidence in every mile, radiator protection is not an optional addition. It is the final, essential layer that completes the vehicle's readiness for real life.